You're right, that's what it says. Invasion of the Elvis Zombies. And our first and foremost question of Cher is...
Why? I don't know, I just thought it was a cool t-shirt.
Yeah. And how many more in the closet do you have that are of comparable preposterousness?
I have a lot of them, actually. I have Zombie Love, and I have, I have a whole bunch of them, except my son keeps stealing them from me.
Well, who could blame him?
Right.
And are they all a kind of black and white motif like that?
Well, yeah, mostly, yes. I would say some are more white than black, and some have like little, like rhinestone eyes or something like that. I have some really cool ones, actually, when I think about it.
And while a lot of women are intent on being as vivid as they can be in their colors, you seem to be kind of keeping it toned down, don't you? And in the movie, too.
Well, right. I'll tell you something. I went through a real colorful period in the 70s, and I'm not really very much interested in anything but black, white, and beige anymore. I don't know why. I just kind of, it's like Picasso. I'm in my blue period or something.
Well, yeah, your own hair and complexion. I mean, some women would die for that.
It just seems better for me. But I've been wearing this black and white now for quite a number of years, so it's nothing really new.
In the film,
yep,
you talk in character as saying, I'm getting older, I don't have time for anything. Pick it up from there, if you would, and explain maybe what that tells us about you in the film and maybe a little bit about Cher in real life.
Well, I feel, unfortunately, I feel a lot luckier than my character because I have children. And this woman had been struggling so long to get to where she was, and it took so long to go through school and go through law school and be there. And the struggle was so hard that she was kind of wondering now, what was she doing it for? Because she didn't have a life. Mm-hmm. All she did was work. You know, she wanted to have children, but she didn't have a boyfriend even. So, you know, she was starting to reevaluate what, you know, she was doing this great in this man's world, but she wasn't being able to live very well as a woman. And it was hard for her.
And are there women friends of yours who will look at that scene and say, yes, yes, I understand what she's saying?
I don't think there are very many women friends of mine who will do that, because most of my friends have children. But I can tell you this, I know from personal experience about working so hard that you don't have a private life sometimes. You know, I mean, it's happening to me right now. I'm working so hard that I'm trying to juggle all these balls in the air. And I feel like I'm always losing all of them.
And it's ironic, too, that sometimes by not having a private life, then the sheets try and provide one for you, even if it means making it up.
Right, I mean, they've always done that. So, I mean, that's nothing new. I mean, I have a private life, and I have quite a nice private life, except that I've been working so hard that I'm just asking everyone, please just, you know, stay on hold for a minute till I can, you know, get this stuff over with. And my children kind of, they understand it. They don't always like it, you know. My boyfriend understands it. He's very sympathetic and very understanding. And yet it's interesting, when I talk to the women at PDS, almost all of the men who were public defenders had wives and households, and almost all of the women were single.
Because in that context, you become one of the homeless, just like your client here. We see him as the homeless person, but maybe in a way you are too. You live there.
I honestly felt that all three of us were different look at being without home. The Dennis was just this guy who was, you know, whipping through Congress and, you know, BSing his way through life and had nothing, you know. And I was this person who was working myself to death, and this other man was, you know, literally homeless. So I always saw us all three as being really without some sort of a home.
And I think it's fascinating, because it's easy enough to see the disenfranchised in that way. But when we think, wait a minute, how about we? Are we any better? Are we any better off? That's a little bit closer to home then.
Well, sometimes it's like you get in the race and then you don't even know what the finish line is, or you know, like you're running, but you don't even know why, but you've been used to running for so long that you don't know, like, if you stop, what will happen.
Now, when you return to the recording aspect of your singing career, has that been a little bit like coming home? In a way, is that coming home at all?
Well, you know, it was really, in the beginning I didn't think I wanted to do it. I just didn't think I had anything that I could offer anymore as a singer. And it had been such a long time since I had sung. I mean, I hadn't literally sung in 6 years. And I mean, opened my mouth to sing, nothing. And I didn't think I could do it. And my friend, John Cloudner, said, you know, he just kept bothering me. And finally, he just made me do it. And he waited a year for all these movies to happen. And then we went in the studio. And I honestly, you know, if I didn't like the album, I wouldn't promote it. I would just say, well, we blew it. But this is the best album I've ever made.
In fact, could you give me a scoop here for the Kansas City market? Could you
You mean
unveil
I
the
show you?
goodies here?
Right. Well, this is the cover. I just got it yesterday.
Again, the black and white look here, kind
Right.
of, huh?
That's
Might want to tilt
the
that
front
forward
cover.
just a touch.
Okay.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's the front cover.
Okay.
And that's the back cover.
And as if we wouldn't guess from this, the title is...
It's just Cher. See, there's a little tattoo right there that says Cher. There's no title.
Now, this, however, we should hasten to acknowledge is a tattoo that's been processed onto the...
Yes, that is. I don't really, I know who I am, and if I get lost, someone will tell someone who I am.
Catch us up about the real home, New York City.
Both. Well, no,
Okay.
New York and L.A.
So is there one that's a real one there, or did you just split your home hearth there?
Well, we kind of spend more school years in New York, and summer and vacation sometimes are here.
Incidentally, I wanted to get this in before we're done. Hooray for you. I heard you earlier saying, growing old is a pain in the rear end. Sometimes this society is saturated with everybody saying, hey, you're getting older, you're getting better. That wears a little thin, doesn't it? That kind of...
Well, I think that it's, if that's the way we really believed, it would be fabulous. I mean, in Europe, it's not that bad getting older, but in America, you know, we glorify young people so much that there is no place for getting older. Getting older is getting obsolete, so that I don't believe anyone is dying to get obsolete. I mean, no one is rejoicing at the fact of, you know, becoming not as valuable as they used to be when they're basically the same person.
Well, we pay a lot of lip service to adjust to that, but do not go gentle into that good night. I think
Right.
it's a good ringing philosophy.
Right, I'm not.
So for those of us that maybe do struggle along that highway, maybe we can look to you for a little bit of encouragement and support at the same time. The people will think me indelicate for even bringing it up, but you're very open about your age.
Well, I mean, my age is my age. There's no, you know, also, when I think of it, it's like, it's a number, but I don't really relate to it exactly as a number. I mean, I've never really thought, I mean, I've always been a certain age. I'm 41 now. It's, you know, I'm just me. I don't really think of it too much as anything, you know. I mean, I see changes, but they're not keeping me from doing what I want to do.
And even though she's in black and white, it's still living color as far as I'm concerned. I'm talking with Cher. Suspect is her new movie. We're in Los Angeles. I'm John Tibbetts for KCTV 5.